What's up, everyone? This is your boy Jonathan Lacey, and I'm joined by my beautiful wife Rachel. As you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome back to the Laced Up Podcast. I know it's been a little bit since we've recorded, and of course, just life has been crazy over the past several weeks, but we are back with another episode. And before getting started, just want to say, make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel over at the Laced Up Podcast, and make sure you guys interact with us, man. Leave some comments. Leave whatever you may think about the video, and I'm sure today's topic is really it's gonna make some people feel uncomfortable because I think a lot of us are in this place. So yeah, kind of interact with us and leave some comments, man. But without further ado, though, let's dive into today's topic. All right, so Rachel and I, we were looking at this, and one of the, I think, kind of the bigger questions is marriage still necessary in today's world? And I know I'm going to say something, but Rachel, I want to hear what you got to say about this topic first.
I think that marriage is necessary for some people. I think that some people are designed to be single, even if they don't realize it or don't want to be.
Yeah.
I think by design they were made to be single people. And then I think those that are coupled up and are wanting to be in a relationship and wanting to have the whole package, I think that ultimately in the end that that marriage should be the final step to commitment. And that's exactly what I feel like marriage is a commitment to one another for the rest of your life. And I think that people take that type of commitment for granted, and I think people are scared these days.
Yeah, I think another thing to kind of add on to that too, some people talk themselves into marriage. Like a lot of people talk themselves into that being married, and I think that's kind of can fall into that category of people that shouldn't, be married, because I think we try to force something that's not there, and then we kind of go through the heartbreak and learning the hard way. But I believe, kind of like you were saying though, many people are, I believe here in 2021 is one or two things. One, you're either afraid of the long-term commitment, or two, the person, like your partner, is boy or girl, they're letting you they're giving you the spouse, I guess, type role, I believe, even without the title of being the husband or wife. And
so you're saying they have their cake and they eat it too?
Yes, literally, like that, because you're like, if you're giving that person
everything that
a husband or a wife would, yeah, like you're of course that person's going to get comfortable,
and then they don't feel like they have to get married
because
they're already quote unquote doing it. And I think here in New Hampshire, after 7 years, it's either 7 or 8 years, if you live together and you're like legally together, same household, same whatever, then technically, legally, you're married and you get all the same benefits as a married couple.
Right, which is crazy. Which is crazy to me.
But I think all the states have something like that.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like, I guess.
So if you're with somebody for 7 or 8 years, why not just put a ring on it? Right. You think in another 10 years you're gonna get sick of them and you don't want to do it? Well, that's what marriage is going through the ups and downs and companionship. And I think people are soft these days. I don't think people can handle it.
I want to give you guys an example out there too. I'm not going to use any names or anything, but I know someone that like this is like from about 4 or 5 years ago, and one of their family members, they probably still are, engaged to quote unquote fiance, but they've been engaged for 20 plus years. And I kind of just, kind of took a step back and said, now what is taking you so long to just say, hey, I just want to marry this person, because there's one or two things. There's either some red flags that kind of scare you off, or you're just afraid of the commitment, because who stays engaged for like 20 plus years, You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like why not? Kind of like you were just saying, if you're going to be together for that long, why not just go on and just put a ring on it,
I mean, people are scared. And I don't think they're willing to put in the work, put in the effort, put in compromise. I don't think that they have what it takes to make a marriage work, so they don't feel like it's necessary. And like you said, people have their cake and they eat it too, and they're comfortable. People don't like being uncomfortable, and marriages make you uncomfortable.
Right. And so really I think that answers the bigger question. Are we as a culture today too comfortable with being, just in our own zone?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if you look back, like, generationally, like, my folks, they were married at 18, 19 years old and right out of high school, and that was pretty normal in the 1990s. Like, they have 4 kids, they've been happily married for, I think, 27, 28 years, and that's just, it is what it is. And then let's take another step back and let's take a look. Another example is my grandparents. My grandparents got married at 17, 18 years old.
Yep.
And they've been together for 60 years. And their marriage wasn't easy. They didn't have all the right answers. They argued, they fought, you know what I mean? There were tough nights, but they're still together after 60 years, and a lot of people can't say that now.
I say, look at even us, like, you and I even kind of got some backlash for getting married at 23.
Right.
Both of us were 23 when we got married, and
everybody's like, are you sure?
Yeah, like, are you sure? Like, why not just wait until your 30s? And
crazy.
And I'm not, look, some people take longer to grow up. Some people take longer to grow up. I just throwing it out there. Some people do. But like, here's the thing. Like, both of us, like, kind of going back to when we met on Tinder, like, we both wanted something long term. We wanted the ultimate goal to be marriage, and I think both of us had that expectation of that, and that didn't scare us. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like, marriage is not easy, but
and we're gonna get to that one day.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a series soon, so we'll get to it.
Like, we'll definitely, we'll tackle all of that, guys, for you. But I just feel like,
do people want the same things now? I think, like, I'm gonna circle back again. Like, people who are living together, they get all the pleasures, like you said, is they serve each other as husband and wife. They pay the bills together. They have combined bank accounts. They have jobs. They eat together. They cook together. They do everything together. They probably sleep together. I mean, what's the point? What's the rush when you're living life and you have a companion? And I think it's literally you can get the document in a day. Like, it's not hard to get married. Like, you just literally
go and elope.
Yeah, you really could, but I don't think people can handle that unified commitment that it takes to one another. I think that for some reason that piece of paper, that promise, scares them. Like, what is it about our society or our generation that can't commit to another person? Why is that all of a sudden unnecessary? Why is that super traditional?
Because society has also pushed that you're supposed to live up in your 20s and then settle down in your 30s, and like just the stereotypes, like the world always
stereotypes are dumb.
Yeah, they are. They are. Like literally society will tell you, like society will tell us that we're stupid for getting married as young as we are. Like, and I can assure you, like those red pill YouTubers and stuff, like they're just heartbroken men that literally never recovered, and they're alpha now, so they don't want to get married, and it's literally because they based one foolish person's actions for they think that's how every other woman is. And I mean, women, if we're gonna be real, you guys kind of think a lot of guys are the same too. We're going to throw that out there because I think it goes both ways. But like it's just kind of foolish though that you're going to base not everyone is the same, all right?
And I think that like I've had a lot of heartbreak, you've had a lot of heartbreak,
Yep.
but in the end, you know, we still, I don't know, what are people's goals? Where are people coming from? Like, I don't know if people, like right now, our generationally, like, career is a huge thing. Like, our generation goes to college and then they want to have a career. They want to be making money. It's because we're all in student loan debt.
And
so they don't think that marriage is a priority.
And I think also too, once again, so like you look at the world's telling you, you know, like do this in your 20s, like everybody wants to be a boss and make these big moves and stuff. And like, I get it to a sense, but it's also like, I feel like,
but again, do we really get it because we're teachers?
Well, no, but what I'm trying to get at though is like, I get what you're trying to say, but I think if you're living just to, you know, just for money, then you're living a sad life. And I'm not saying like her and I, we're not just living just to be married and stuff either, but like I think there's more to life than just, you know, being like really like money hungry, and even marriage, guys. Like there's so much more to life than just that. Like don't let your identity be caught up in those things, because it's so easy to do that and to slip into those habits. And then like we identify because you said, hey, you know, tell me about yourself. And the first thing you talk about, oh, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm this business owner. And so like, you're identifying yourself with your job, you know? And like, there's so much more to that. Like you are more than that. And I think like God has called us to more than that as well. So I just feel like that I don't know. And I think both of us, like we're 2 years in being married, and I definitely feel like
for
both
us
of
it's
us
necessary.
Yeah.
In our lives it's necessary.
Yeah.
I think that each person is also different. I really do believe that. I do believe that each person has their own book, they're writing their own story. I do believe that, and I do think that for some, maybe marriage is not an option. It's not their priority. It's not what they want. So they are single, and that's great. Maybe some feel that marriage is necessary later on in life because they want a companion and they don't want to die alone. As sad as that sounds. But like, I mean, I think it all depends on what people view as marriage and their definition of that. Because I think that could change the identity or change the assumption of marriage, if it's necessary or not. Everyone has a different definition. My definition is going to be different than your definition. Your definition is going to be different than Peter's definition. Like,
yeah,
it's all going to be different. Mine's different than Suzanne's. So just, I think that also makes a difference whether you feel it's necessary or not. I think on this topic, I think right now we're probably in the minority that we feel like it is a necessary step. But I'm also not speaking for other people. I'm only speaking for us.
Yeah, we're speaking like from our point of view, and
we're not pushing marriage
and
on anyone.
no, like, and that's the thing, like, but here's my thing. If you guys have been dating for more than like 5+ years, and like you guys are like living together and basically being husband and wife, like Rachel said at the beginning, why not just, like what's stopping you, and I get it, like it could be like the cost of the ring, honestly, like, because I mean,
but if
it could be that.
But if you think about that too, if you're trying to be financially ready, then you're
never gonna be ready.
Thing, like having a baby.
Yeah, you're never will be ready. Yeah, exactly. And like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it to a sense, but it's like, it's kind of, at the end of the day, I think it's kind of an excuse where it's just, it's not going to really work, because you got to realize that if you wait for anything to be perfectly right, it's never going to happen. Nothing's ever going to be perfectly the way you want it. And I think that's where we kind of get stuck in a society where we may think like, hey, if I wait 5 years out, like we have a timeline of when we think things are going to work.
My timelines always get messed up.
Yeah, like screw a timeline, man.
My timeline is never my own timeline.
Like screw a timeline, because like
timelines are fantasies.
They are. They literally, this is a figment of our imagination.
They really are it took me a long time to learn that lesson, that my timeline is very different.
As I'm telling you, especially like everything is going to work in God's timing, whether you want it or not.
That's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. Like God,
all of this revolves around being uncomfortable.
God, yeah, exactly. That's literally, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier. I think this is bigger than just like, is marriage necessary? I think is like the whole thing of being comfortable. We're comfortable where we are in life, and we're afraid to grow.
But when you're married, is divorce an option? I think that's another topic. Like, if you think marriage is necessary and you're on board with marriage, then is divorce on the table? Because in our marriage, unless there's infidelity or abuse of some sort on either side, then divorce is not an option. Duke's up, baby. We're gonna fight it out. Divorce is not on the table. It's not a topic. It's not a conversation unless it's biblically backed up by those two things.
Yep.
End of story. And you know what? At the end of the day, we may really just dislike each other a lot, and we may have said some unkind words or things that we didn't mean. But you know what? That can be resolved, and it does get resolved. And it's how much are you willing to work and fight and come alongside? Because if you're in marriage and you think marriage is literally all love, that is some BS.
Yeah.
Because that's not true.
Yeah.
Marriage is not all love. There's some love in there.
Yeah.
But it's really dedication, commitment, hard work, like all these different things, all these traits that go into patience, kindness, putting the other person before yourself, even when you don't want to. Those types of things. If you're not willing to do any of that, you are not ready for a marriage. Because if you're going only by love, then that's going to lead to divorce.
Yep.
End of story.
And guys, like, I know I said this at the beginning, but I really want to emphasize this. If you are going, it's a dangerous game when we kind of talk ourselves into being married.
I talked John into getting married.
No, all right, no,
No,
but
I'm
all
not.
right,
I was
no,
just kidding.
no, but like
We had
I
lots
mean,
of conversations.
yeah,
And we were on the same page. It wasn't just you or I.
yeah,
But
like we were always on the same page, and I think many of us, I think some of us, and this is, I'm gonna make some people feel uncomfortable when I say this. Many of us are with someone that does not want to get married. We might want to get married, but that other person, they don't want to get married,
you see
and
that all the time.
and we're stuck there. Like
I can think of 2 or 3 couples right off the top of my head.
I can too, and like, and I'm gonna respect them and not say that and stuff, but like, it just honestly, a lot of people, we don't have those real conversations in the beginning, and I think that's what saved Rachel and I a lot of time, is by having clear expectations from the very beginning and just communicating.
You and I are both also very straightforward people. We're pretty cutthroat.
Yeah,
because
I'm not gonna BS you to like,
no
waste
point.
time.
We don't have time.
Yeah, I don't want to waste time, man.
We do too much.
Yeah,
we are
like,
too busy.
Especially like
Nowadays.
before I met Rachel, like the girl I was dating, like she broke up with me like when we were coming back that Friday to start our spring semester, and then 2 days later, your boy, my best friend, no, R.I.P. Caleb, like he ended up killing himself, and I was not in a good place, man, when I met Rachel, and like I'm so thankful that she really understood that, and I know, like I definitely talked about this, but I just bring it up just for the simple fact of like her and I, like we had to talk about that. We communicated, and it was kind of a tough talk, but I think like at the end of the day, both of us were on the same page, and like Lord behold, like this is where we are. But I do want to say this though: make sure whoever you go after, guys, like whoever that significant other is, guys, make sure you guys are on the same page from the get-go, because it saves so much time. It saves so much time.
And you don't always have to be on the same page, because there are a lot of things that we were not on the same page about.
But far as marriage, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
But there was a couple big things that we weren't on the same page, and we almost broke up because of those things, but lo and behold, like you said, we worked it out, we duked it out, we found compromise, and here we are, still sitting here today. Again, even in our dating life, we had difficult conversations, big conversations, didn't always agree, but you know what? We practiced and rehearsed what marriage was actually going to look like, and having those types of difficult conversations because I mean, at this point, we have a baby on the way, and sometimes big decisions have to be made in regards to kids. I mean, we just moved into an apartment. Big decisions had to be made to move here. Our jobs, we moved from Virginia to New Hampshire.
Do you guys see the reoccurring theme of communication?
Yeah.
That's literally what it is, man. It's communicating, even if you disagree.
You're not on the same page.
Yeah, even if you disagree, guys, communicate, because like that, kind of like with me and Rachel, if she disagrees with me on something,
I'm gonna tell
her. She'll tell me, but like she usually, if you give it some time, both of us will literally come back and say, hey,
and we'll listen to one another, actively listen.
Yeah, like hey, I understand where you're coming from with this, and like we
So that leads to another topic that we're going to be talking about in this upcoming series, is just like love and respect in our marriage, and how you feel respected and how I feel loved, and how that works into communication. And I think that that's necessary for us in our relationship and our marriage. And again, another foreshadowing of conversation topics that are to come.
Yeah, like I'm telling you guys, there are a lot of good topics on the way Like, I promise you, stay with us. Stay with us.
So is marriage necessary? Yes,
yes,
for us.
yes for us. Yes for us. But for you guys, that's something that you have to.
That's a conversation for your own
Yeah,
home.
that's a conversation that you got to have. All right, but like I just want you guys to really, like this marriage is something very serious, and I feel like unfortunately in today's world, it's almost like a hobby, because like divorce rate is what at it like in the 80%.
I have no idea, but it's high.
Like it's up there, guys, and I think it's because a lot of the times it's just not going back to communicating or just sticking it out and having that fight, But yeah, like I hope you guys kind of take something away from this. This is
if you have questions or you want to discuss or how you feel that marriage isn't necessary, we would love to have a conversation.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about it. Like I'm not
closed-minded people. We'd love to have topical conversation, and we'd love to hear what you have to say.
Please, seriously, like if you're watching this on YouTube as well, guys, drop some comments down below. Let us know what you think, and I promise you, like we will reply. Like we're not douchebags. Like we just don't just sit there and just look at it. All right, so yeah, you guys, thank you for joining us and really like checking out our content. This means a lot, and we do have a great series coming for you guys. All right, so you guys stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys here next week. All right, love you guys. Peace.